Ah, yes. And with that begins my favorite game of all time. Welcome to Nathan Plays Super Metroid. I'm Nathan, and this is Super Metroid. Joining me are Bentley the dog, napping nearby, and Gideon Cat, also napping nearby. We may hear from them later in the program if we're lucky. I've been finishing Super Metroid off and on about annually since about 1995 or 6 or so. One of my favorite gaming memories of all time was finally polishing this game off at 7 3/4 hours in game, in the back of a Winnebago on the driveway of the house we were about to move into. It was still under construction at the time, and ever since then I've just become more and more, I guess, infatuated with it. And it's my comfort game. It's my bowl of hot soup. It's just something I can keep coming back to over and over. What I'm going to be doing here is what I'd like to call my locker combination run. It's not a speed run. It's not a 100% run. It's the way, if you've ever had a locker combination, if you ever had a combination lock in high school or whatever, and you opened and closed it so often that you didn't even remember the numbers really anymore. It was all just sort of muscle memory at some point. You just know that you turn a certain number of ways to about there, and then you turn back to about there. And if pressed, you could probably remember what the actual numbers are, but that's kind of what this game is to me. I've done it so many times that a lot of it is burnt sort of into my brain, just muscle memory, and often as we go, I'll be probably kind of forgetful about where I need to be or what's down certain hallways, but things tend to work out in the end. I'm going to try and shoot for the good ending, that is the swimsuit ending under 3 hours. My deepest apologies to you in advance if we don't get there in time. And without further ado, let's get this thing underway. I'm going to leave it on English text and pop over to controller setting just to make one quick adjustment for my own comfort. You can take a look at special setting mode sometime. I'm honestly not even sure entirely what these things do. I never use them. This one, I believe, Moonwalk, allows you to move backwards and aim up or down at the same time. It's never something I really learned to incorporate, and so we're just going to leave it off.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
So with that backstory and some fancy Mode 7 effects, we are officially underway. Taking our first elevator down to Ceres Station. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You'll find as we go that I am just terrible with canon in terms of pronunciation, names of things, just awful. I don't know, never really something I've dug that far into. Our first look at our hero. And we're just going to head down a little bit here. At the time that this game was released, it was the largest game on cartridge yet. It was a whopping 24 megabits, which makes it about 3 megabytes, which is probably about half the size of your average iTunes music download. But at the time it was huge, and I'll be pointing out some more things as we go along, but a big part of the reason it was so big was, sprawling areas and lots of different environments and music and things like that, but also there's so many little details. For instance, the first one we'll point out right here. Many games do not do this, but there are separately drawn and animated sprites for each side of your character. You'll notice that the gun is on her right hand, and she steadies it with the left, no matter what way you're facing. Gun's on the right hand, steadies it with the left. If you're aiming up or down, if you're in the air, it's totally consistent no matter what direction you're facing. That's a bunch of extra work, and that's a bunch of extra space taken up on the cartridge to make that happen. And a lot of contemporary games at the time, your Mega Mans, what have you, Super Mario World, all those kinds of things, tended to just swap the same sprite left and right, like it didn't matter. But it's all the little details that make this thing special. So here we are, wandering through the creepy abandoned space station. Seems to be nobody around, and also really inaccessible. I mean, who builds half of a staircase and then has you jump twice your body height to get up to the next level? Didn't really think that one all the way through, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that these are like kind of maintenance passages or something. The game leaves you with a lot of room for interpretation and a lot of opportunities for headcanon, as the kids call it. And here we are back at the title screen, but one big difference. Where's the baby? Poor folks. Check them. I think they're okay. Just having a nap. They'll be all right. Or they're robots. Anyway. Let's keep searching. See if we can't find that baby Metroid. Interestingly enough, here you don't actually have to shoot the doors or anything. Usually you do, but they open for you up on Ceres. Pretty fancy. Oh, look at that. We found it. Shortest game ever. Excuse me, I'll just go ahead and grab that there. Which one's the grab button? Oh, hello. Our first boss encounter of the game comes within moments of starting it up. How intimidating is that? This fight can end in one of two ways. Either Ridley here is going to wear me down to 30 health or below, which is most likely what's going to happen. Or I can actually fire back enough that he nearly dropped the canister. Either way, he snatches it and he takes off with it and sets the station on auto-destruct. But he is actually getting a little bit brighter pink there. Might go okay. We'll see if we can do it this time. Kind of hit and miss. That's a gun joke. Hit and miss. You get it? Because, if you're in a hurry, often what you do is just kind of run into him repeatedly until... Oh, there we go! Huzzah! Give me that back! And then... Oof. Emergency. Self-destruct cycle. It's activated. Evacuate colony. Oh my goodness, we better get out of here. I'm going to apply my run button here. It doesn't make a giant difference for speed, but it's pretty good. If those people were napping, I'm sure they'll find their own escape pods. They're waking up just now. You'll notice that whenever I run into the steam blasts or anything that falls from the ceiling here in the next room, it doesn't actually decrease my health at all in the upper left there. It just knocks me around a little bit and slows me down. Which is, good because you're in a bit of a panic here anyway, so you don't need more things to worry about at the moment. We had plenty of time. Dramatic exit from the station. Billions of space credits flushed down the drain. Over to Planet Zebes, I'm assuming it's pronounced. A bit of Mode 7 magic as we head toward the planet. And we arrive and land. Now, it may be a little bit difficult to hear, but there's a lot going on sort of with sound effects in this scene. And when they talk about Super Metroid being a game with a lot of atmosphere, these are the kinds of things they're talking about. First of all, you have this moody sort of music in the background. Just ambient, menacing tones. You've got the awesome sounds of the thunder and lightning and the rain there. And then your ship. It might be difficult to hear on this version, but your ship is sort of thrumming softly as it hovers there. And all of it kind of comes together to create a really unique kind of moody atmosphere. Scare you a little bit. Now, fun fact, throughout the game, your ship will always serve as a save point and a place to restock on health and any ammo that you find along the way. So why don't we take advantage of that now? Then we're going to head off in the only direction we can go in. While I was talking over the introduction, you might have noticed that there were several little clips sort of playing on in the background of different scenes. One of them we just did there. They put a little more kind of puppeteering into it, I guess, but there are a few different compilations of gameplay clips if you just let the titles run, if you don't touch anything. And actually, they give you a surprising number of hints about places to try going, different upgrades that you can find, optional upgrades, and even some ways to get out of places if you're stuck. So if you're trying to take this game on your own, definitely worth a watch. If you are ever stuck or just kind of in need of something else to try, go watch the titles, let them scroll through, and I think they change actually as you go through. More fun little details as you get into this room. The rain from the outside, the sound effect dulls as you walk through the door, which I just find super impressive. And also, in darker areas of the game, you'll notice my visor is kind of glowing softly there. Darkness. Fantastic stuff. We're going to keep going the only way we can really go right now, which is down. Down into the spooky caves. You can open some of these doors, but there's really nothing to do in them just yet. So we're going to go this way. Now, as you saw in the introduction, we fought Mother Brain once before and won. And that was the end of Metroid 1. And then the next clip was the end of Metroid 2, where you go to their home planet and you eliminate all but one of them, the baby. This section that I'm falling down here is the ending of the original Metroid game. After defeating Mother Brain, another self-destruct sequence goes off because this series is very big on self-destruct sequences. And you have to frantically climb all these little steps on the way out, try to escape before the planet blows up underneath you. So right now, you know, with the sort of broken down pieces of things and the mysterious fog, if you're a Metroid veteran and you're coming into this for the first time, you're going, oh man, like getting some serious deja vu, especially when you're here. Original Mother Brain platform. Notice the door turns sort of silver behind me. That means it's sealed until we accomplish something further up ahead. Sometimes it's in the same room. Sometimes you have to keep moving. We're going to keep going through the ending of Metroid 1. Bugs scatter away. The game does an incredible job, as you'll see here in a moment, of making it feel as though the place is sort of waking up around you. Like it hasn't been disturbed in a long time, maybe years, since the original game. And now it's kind of coming to life. You'll see the little chest pieces there. You can get a better shot of the visor glowing, and my little chest medallion there is having a glow as well. This is the beginning of the first Metroid game. It's meant to sort of evoke that. It's been remixed a little bit. Obviously, there's not an elevator in the beginning of Metroid 1 that goes straight to the end of the game. So maybe the catastrophic destruction the last time around has had some impact here, but just as in Metroid 1, you can head straight to the left and get your very first power-up. Orphing ball. I do intend to sing most of the power-ups I get. Fun fact. Oh, speaking of things waking up, all heads turned in. Yeah, security system seems to have tagged me here. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to worry about it. It's probably fine. Pop that block out of the way, and we're going to look around down here some more. A little bit more to do before we go back upstairs. Our first pink door. Pink doors, invulnerable to bullets. Well, whatever shall we do? If we were paying attention in the introductory cutscenes, we should go down. Actually, no, they didn't do that in the intro, did they? Never mind. We know we need something else, though, to open that door, and that something else is... missiles. Select thing and press the Y button. You select to arm and disarm my 5 missiles on top there, and you'll notice that, again, little details when you switch on the missiles. Your gun kind of splits open on the end, which I always found kind of cool. So the game is very slowly teaching you things about how some power-ups might be in out-of-the-way places, and so on. I find it kind of interesting. The yard lights there turned on, and we're going to have to come back here later because I just can't quite reach that, but that's okay. We'll have all kinds of backtracking to do, but unlike the backtracking of many similar games, you're often more powerful, or at least more knowledgeable by the time you come back to these areas, and it makes it a lot less tedious to be able to bring your new skills to the table. Well, nobody seems to have noticed. We managed to swipe 10 missiles or so in a morph ball, and we're just gonna, you know what, we're just gonna head back to the ship. It's not a big deal. I'm sure nobody will mind. Looks like nobody's home anyway, so I guess we may as well just go. A little bit of a music change now. Okay. Good, and... oh, hello guys. Hey. The space pirates, ladies and gentlemen. Space pirates are here. These are the grunts they've sent down to investigate why the security system downstairs in Metroid 1 has been going off. They are also the easiest to take out. Just one shot will do it. Try not to get hit by their little psi beams there. So we make our way back through. Door's flashing now. That means we've accomplished whatever we were meant to accomplish. Most of the time, again, that means just taking out whatever was in the room. Now we get to make our way back up. I don't think it's necessary to take all these guys out along the way, but they're annoying, so may as well. I mean, they're pirates, right? Probably, you know, doing some sort of justice activity. If you are going around the court system, there is one in the future. Again, headcanon. Lots and lots of room for it. For interpretation of events and the legal system of every year this is set in 2016. Made it to the top. And things have woken up here as well. We have our loopy crawlies are making their way around. We're gonna take one detour here and use 5 of our missiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Crack this door open. Oh, hey. Ugh. He ambushed me. Oh my goodness. One of the nice things about this game is that the enemies will never drop power-ups that you don't need. If you're you just need to refill missiles or something, you have full everything else, it won't drop those other things. It only drops what you need. And if you don't need anything, then nobody drops anything. Rather a nice system. And here's another nice little feature that they've installed on the planet, apparently just for you, even though they don't seem to like you very much around here. plug your gun into this thing and get map data. This will give you a general sort of overview of the area. Of course, there are a lot of secrets and tucked away places that they're not showing. But every dot that's on the map is a power-up of some kind, or another maps or energy station. So good to know when you're trying to hunt down the extra power-ups. Additionally, when you begin to really hunt the game for your extra secrets, bear in mind that in this game at least, there are never secrets in the map room, charge room, or save room. Kind of nice of them. A little bit of an unspoken rule. Let's see if we can get back there. Good one. One of the things I dislike about the original Metroid is that you are not safe inside those doors, and enemies can still swipe at you, can still come flying in there and hurt you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it because the scene transition is happening. Thankfully, they sort of did away with that this time around. Well, here we are back here. The map says we can go that way, and we have this incredibly conspicuous piece of wall blocking our way, but there's really nothing we can do about it right now. Missiles aren't going to work. So we're going to have to go back this way and use our morph ball, newfound morph ball abilities to zoom past these guys. Whoa, whoa. And right down through there and fall down this little cavern. Check this thing out. Shall we? To apply the run button here just to scoot past these little fellas. Put missiles into the door. And then I'm going to backtrack and just get those missiles back because you never know. I mean, they're here. Oh, boy, okay, I'll be here forever. Like I believe I disclaimed myself earlier. I'm not exactly what you would call an expert at the game. I'm just pretty good. I'll allow myself that. I'm pretty good. Anyway. Another power-up. Okay, well, why don't I just grab that then? You got a bomb. Turn into a morph ball and set it with the Y button. Go team. I'm just gonna head. Oh, okay, guys, you locked the door. I just would like to get. Wah! All right. Well, this is our little mini boss to deal with here, trying to freak us out. I don't know what he was doing there. Don't know why the other statues are much nicer than he is. Oh, we're gonna drop him with a couple of missiles to the chest. A few well-placed shots, and it's not a big deal. Although it can be, I mean, for first-time players, very intimidating. It's unexpected, and it's one of the first little curveballs that the game likes to throw at you. Along with the very first area in the game exploding catastrophically as you race away from it, so. But we got what we came for. Got our power-ups. Got our morph ball bomb. We're gonna get out of here. The bomb, first thing that allows you to do sequence breaking, which I will touch on in a later video, but as you can see, it's very useful for clearing out certain blocks. Perhaps it will be useful on that mysterious section of wall on the other side of this cavern. But we're going to have to leave that mystery alone for now. Because right now, I'm heading back to the ship. Jump up there. Get a cup of coffee. So that concludes part 1. And I hope you'll stick around with me for many more parts as we explore the lower depths of ZBs. I want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you next mission.